In this episode, Order to Plod is standing outside a police station when a sergeant suddenly charges out, clearly intent on forcing him away. With no valid law to back it up, the sergeant resorts to false claims and intimidation, hoping Plod will back down. But Plod refuses to be pushed around. He calmly counters every move with solid knowledge of his rights, leaving the officer visibly shaken. Things quickly escalate when the sergeant storms back inside and carelessly slams the door, straight into Plod. That reckless act sets off a major legal battle. Instead of quietly walking away or accepting a simple payout, Plod makes a bold choice. He takes the sergeant head-on in court, determined to hold him fully accountable.
I had a complaint from a member of police staff.
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself on me?
Yes, certainly. My name's Sergeant 1789 Pope. I'm the duty sergeant on today. Got no issue with your video. That said, I'd ask you not to video inside there, members of police staff. If your actions cause alarm, harassment, distress to them, you may commit an offence. Okay,
right. Well, just so you know, that is a public area. Okay, and I'm well within my rights to be in there and filming.
Okay. Sir, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying if your actions cause alarm, harassment, distress.
Okay.
Members of the you listen.
As an officer, okay,
please
you
listen,
can't
sir,
be alarmed and distressed.
Actually, we can.
No, you cannot. You need to look at case law, and you will actually see that you cannot be alarm and distress right in your actual officer's
that's the
duty.
Case law of RV Oram. That's not in relation to what we're doing now. I'm talking about police staff, not police officers.
Okay.
The sergeant tries to bend the rules by warning Plod that recording inside the station could count as causing harassment, alarm, or distress if staff were affected. It's a flimsy argument from the start, and Plod wastes no time pointing it out. Officers can't claim that simply being filmed while doing their job is some kind of offense. So the sergeant shifts gears, bringing up staff members as if that lowers the standard. But it doesn't. Police staff, while not sworn officers, are still employees in a law enforcement setting. They're part of the public-facing side of policing, and the expectation for what actually qualifies as harassment should be higher, not lower. If staff could claim harassment just from being on camera, it would essentially block the public from holding any part of policing accountable. That's why Plod stands firm, making it clear the law doesn't work the way the sergeant is suggesting.
If the members of staff cause alarm, harassment, and distress, I'm telling you now that may be an offence.
I'm allowed to film anything I can see from public.
I'm not saying that you
are. So if I film them and I'm in public, okay, then I'm doing nothing unlawful. Nothing. Okay, correct.
Right. So if you cause alarm, harassment, and distress through your actions, okay, then you commit an offence on Section 5 of the Public Order Act.
Section 5?
No,
so have you got a member of the public that's a complainant?
I'm not saying that you've done that yet, and I'm not saying, I'm just advising you. I've got no problem with you videoing here.
Well, have you got a member of the public that's a complainant?
Well, police staff
is not a member of the public. No, they are not. Not when they're actually working.
They are.
Not when they're working, sir.
He explains that filming in public is not against the law. The sergeant falls back on a familiar pressure tactic. Section 5 of the Public Order Act 1986. He warns that if the recording causes harassment, alarm, or distress, it could count as an offense. On the surface it sounds serious, but the claim ignores what the law actually requires. Section 5 is clear. The conduct must be threatening, abusive, or disorderly. Quietly holding a camera through a doorway doesn't even come close. What the sergeant is really doing here is trying to turn personal discomfort into something criminal. Time and again, the courts have ruled that mere irritation or unease is not enough. There has to be behavior that genuinely crosses the line. Plod filming silently in a public place doesn't reach that standard, no matter how many times the sergeant repeats it. If it did, every reporter, tourist, or everyday person with a camera could be accused of breaking the law the moment someone claimed to feel uneasy. That's exactly why Plod doesn't back down, because the law simply doesn't work the way the sergeant suggests.
You need to actually rectify that.
So I would ask you, very politely, okay, not to video the staff. If you want to video us, that's fine. You're more than happy to do so.
No, I will video the staff if they're actually in
well,
the
if I do get a complaint, so then you may be dealt with under that matter. Okay.
Well,
and that's it. That's the end of it.
Just remember, it will be completely unlawful. It will be completely unlawful.
Well,
okay, but also, can I just mention to you as well? Can you tell me why you didn't actually tell me that you put your body camera on, sir?
Okay. I apologise for that. My body camera's on. Is there a reason why you didn't tell me you were videoing me?
I don't need to. Okay, under your actual code of
ethics. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
So
yeah, go on. Under my code of ethics.
Under your code of ethics, under section 3.5, okay, you're meant
3.5 what?
3.5 of your code of ethics.
So there's no such thing as 3.5.
Yes, there is, sir. You need to actually look at it, okay? It actually states that a member of the public must be informed at the first possible moment when you actually turn your body camera.
When Plod spots the sergeant's body-worn camera recording, he asks the obvious question, "Why didn't you say you were filming?" It's a reasonable point, because officers are expected to be up front whenever they record the public. The sergeant's comeback is almost comical. He flips it around and asks why Plod didn't announce his own filming. The difference couldn't be clearer. Ordinary members of the public have no obligation to declare when they're recording. Police officers, however, operate under professional standards that require openness. Plod doesn't let it slide. He points out that the College of Policing's Code of Ethics makes transparency one of its core values. The sergeant tries to brush it off, claiming there's no such rule. But that response doesn't hold up. The guidance is written down and unambiguous. Officers must be open and honest about recording, because their footage isn't just casual video, it becomes part of official policing records and potential evidence. That's why Plod's challenge hits home, and the sergeant's excuse simply doesn't stand.
No, please don't talk to me that way.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a card.
To me in that manner.
Sir, I'm going to give you a card with my details on, so you can make a complaint that I didn't inform
don't worry, I will be.
That I had my body worn video.
I will be. Don't worry about that.
I didn't. I was more concerned with your actions at the time. But
what, my actions? What, filming in public?
Well, no, what you're trying to
filming in public.
No, what you're trying to do is just bait police officers and other people.
That's a presumption, okay? What you got to remember, a presumption, okay, that's your own personal presumption, sir.
I'll give you my details.
Okay, your own personal presumption, and your own personal presumption is not law.
I'm just advising you.
Okay.
If you want to video
your
public,
presumption is not law.
No, it's not.
Okay, so just remember that.
I never said it was.
Okay. So don't tell me that I'm trying to bait police officers.
You are?
No, I would have gladly have had a nice conversation with you, sir, if you would have approached me in a different manner.
You were never intending that at all.
Really?
Really? You're doing this specifically because
sir, you're making another presumption again.
I've come out to speak
How have you made it as a sergeant? How have you made it as a sergeant when you make so many presumptions, okay? You've made 3 different presumptions.
This is the moment the sergeant shows his true approach. Instead of focusing on facts, he falls back on assumption, repeating again and again that Plod is only there to provoke officers. But that's not evidence, it's just opinion, and it has no place in proper policing. A sergeant, or any officer, has no authority to guess at someone's motives when the person is doing nothing unlawful. Plod was recording in a public space, which is entirely legal. That should have been the end of it. The duty of a sergeant is to apply the law correctly, not to speculate about intent or toss around accusations. By labeling Plod's audit as baiting, the sergeant was essentially admitting he couldn't point to an actual offense. Lacking legal grounds, he shifted to discrediting the man with the camera instead, an approach that reveals far more about the sergeant's weakness than about Plod's actions.
Uniform, okay? Are you telling me that you're going to murder someone next? Okay, is that what it is? Okay, so I can make a presumption, okay, on you, okay, and this is only using it as an example. So are you telling me then that you would actually murder someone else, would you, sir? Don't do that, you prick!
What are you doing?
You're such a prick. Okay, no, you deliberately push that to try and push me over. Okay, and don't make it look like you weren't.
Please don't shout at me in the inquiry.
I'm not shouting, sir.
Are you here for a legitimate reason?
Okay.
Are you here for a legitimate reason?
Well, what I'm here to see, okay, I will go and see.
Are you here for a legitimate reason? Do you
Yes, I am here for a legitimate reason.
Do you need to speak to someone? Would you like to tell me what that is? And I'll get an officer to come
you,
speak to you.
it's your actual inspector I would like to see.
He's not here at the moment, but I can give you the details on how you can contact him.
Yep, if you could. Okay, because that was completely out of order.
If you contact 101...
No, I'm not doing it via 101, okay? I will actually do it in here.
They'll take the details for you.
And that I will do.
Okay.
Okay, but you are absolutely out of order for what you just done. Don't make it look like you didn't do anything.
No, it's
all on camera. No, was it hell? Was it hell?
Point where the sergeant completely loses control. As he heads back into the station through the revolving door, Plod follows a short distance behind. Instead of simply moving on, the sergeant suddenly stops the door dead, slamming the panel straight into Plod. This wasn't clumsiness, it was frustration boiling over into action. A senior officer using a door as a weapon against someone lawfully filming outside is about as petty and unprofessional as it gets. When Plod calls him out, the sergeant denies everything. But the footage makes the truth obvious. Anyone watching can see it was deliberate. He didn't misjudge the moment, he wanted to send a message. And that rash move cost him dearly. The clip became hard evidence in a lawsuit, and once it was presented in court, there was no excuse that could make it disappear. What the sergeant thought was just a show of defiance turned into the very thing that exposed him. Stay tuned until the end to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely talk out your arse.
Sir, if you keep swearing at me and you keep being abusive, then I will ask you to leave the station. Sir, I'm going to ask you to leave the station if you carry on trying to behave in this manner.
Can you tell me whether or not that is swearing or not? Arse is not swearing.
You're shouting at me.
I'm not shouting.
You are.
I'm not shouting.
If you want to make your complaint, there's the inquiry office.
I'm not shouting.
I'm more than happy to do so. If you have no legitimate reason to be here, I will ask you to leave.
I have a legitimate reason. Okay.
What's your legitimate reason?
Well, I'm waiting for you to go, and then I'll go in there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for you to go.
Thank you.
Okay. Because you are absolutely out of order.
So there's no point following me in.
I'm not following you in through that door. I'm not following you in through that door. No, I want you to go, and then I'll carry on with my business.
Okay.
And I've already told you that 3 times. As soon as you go, I will carry on with my business.
You're just being argumentative unnecessarily.
No, you tried to push me over.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. It's all on camera, so don't worry about it.
It's all on camera.
Yep, and I will be getting a copy of those.
I'm sure you will, sir. You have a nice day.
You're completely out of line, Plod tells the sergeant. The officer snaps back, sir. If you keep using that language, I'll have to ask you to leave the station. Plod calmly challenges him. Can you tell me exactly what you think is swearing here? Because asking questions isn't swearing. The sergeant insists Plod is shouting. I'm not shouting, Plod replies firmly. You are, the sergeant presses. The officer then says, if you want to make a complaint, the inquiry desk is right there. But if you've no proper reason to be here, I'll ask you to move on. Plod responds, I do have a reason. I'm waiting for you to leave, and once you do, I'll go in. Back and forth it goes, with Plod repeating clearly, as soon as you walk away, I'll continue my business. The sergeant accuses him of just being argumentative. Plod answers, no, you tried to push me over. The sergeant flatly denies it. Yes, you did, Plod insists. It's all on camera, so don't worry. I'll be getting a copy of the footage. The sergeant shrugs it off, replying, I'm sure you will, sir. The tense exchange closes with Plod saying, thank you for your time, and standing his ground.